Hello everyone, Sandi here. December. I'm always a little bit in crisis in December. I feel the year is ending. I have my birthday in December, but I've been trying to keep myself calm, and take things peacefully this year. My family came down to visit over my birthday weekend, and that was really nice. We went to the Christmas market, we ate good food. We found a new restaurant right here next to us that serves the absolutely most amazing ramen you've ever had in your entire life. So we had some of that. Yeah, it was just an all-round really good time. Then I got some happy mail from my friend Jenny, who also has a tarot tube channel called A Year in a Day, and I will be showing you those a little bit later in my new decks section. And then I started a bit of a new hobby. Yet another one, yes. And well, I was influenced. I keep jokingly and lovingly saying that I was pushed and pulled and dragged into this hobby because friends from several different parts of my friendship circle here on Tarot Tube, has picked up this hobby and have lovingly prodded me to join them, and it's been such a wild ride, to be honest, but it's fun, and I'm not gonna tiptoe around this anymore. But I got into dolls. Who would have thunk it? I felt really odd about this in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. I was very what's the right word? I was feeling quite against it, and I was struggling with it quite a lot in the beginning, and had to get to grips with why I felt drawn to this. And this hobby has already taught me so much. It's really weird. My doll hasn't. I'm talking about Blythe dolls. My friend Jenny at A Year in a Day started. Or got her first doll not long ago, and now she's got 3, and she's sewing clothes for them, and it's like this really creative endeavor. And then it turns out that my friend Andy also has Blythe dolls, and then she encouraged Krista to get a Blythe doll, so she also got one. And all of a sudden I had friends over here and friends over there who were all like, ooh, Blythe, Blythe, Blythe. And I was just like, oh, I need to see what all of this is about. And a whole new world just kind of opened up for me. It was insane how much there is to know about one specific doll. It's actually rather crazy. But it's been so much fun. My doll hasn't even arrived yet, because the first thing you need to do is, figure out what kind of doll you want, because you don't just haphazardly buy a doll, because obviously they're quite expensive as well. And then there's the customization, like you can carve your own faces and make them up and sew their own little clothes, and it's just there's so much, you guys. And it's fair to say that this has taken up a huge chunk of my December. And my doll hasn't even arrived yet. She is patiently sitting in waiting at my friend my friend Ree's place in London. I bought a doll on eBay and had it sent to her, because the shipping from the eBay vendor to Finland would have been insane. So my friend Ree is going to send it to me instead. And by my friend Ree, I mean the tarot tree here on YouTube. So it's And I think I might have actually recruited Ree into the Blythe obsession as well. So don't be surprised if she suddenly starts talking about dolls as well. But anyway, that's another story. The thing that I wanted to touch on before I started showing you all the stuff I've already gotten for my doll that hasn't arrived yet, is that this this newfound interest in miniature things and it's taught me quite a lot already before my doll has even arrived, and that's quite interesting to me. I've already, through this little new hobby, gotten so much more in touch with my inner child and gained so much more understanding for myself, and also just overall a whole new perspective on not being non-judgmental. It's very different, or like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very interesting, actually, because I thought that I was a very non-judgmental person, and I am. I'm very open-minded, but for some reason this was a hurdle for me. It was a hurdle for me to go, yeah, it's fine. I'm a 35-year-old and I'm into toys. It was very, very difficult for me. Like, I don't have any judgment about anybody else doing it. I was perfectly fine. I've never thought an ill thought about grown-ups who collect toys or anything like that. It's never been an issue for me. But when it came to myself, it was like I could not accept that I could be an adult, a responsible adult, and still have this really gleeful, like joyful interest in children's things. And I thought that was so interesting. I couldn't leave that alone, so I had to start picking at that, because it was something in me that I had not noticed before. And so for my birthday, on my way home from work, I went to a toy store and decided that today I'm going to buy myself a toy. I'm going to buy myself something I want from here. And I ended up coming home with this little fox, who I have named Fiddlesticks. And he is just this cutest little jelly cat, soft, plushy toy. He's got beads in his feet and his hands and his little tush. So he can sit on his own, and he's just so lovely. And I was texting with Krista and Andy at the time, and they were like, the fox is coming home with you. And I was like, are you sure? I'm not sure. And then he did. This is not the end, though, because then just the other day, like the next day, you guys, I went to another toy store with my partner, Michael, because we needed to pick up something for his niece and nephew, since he was going over to England to visit them the week before Christmas. And so we went into a completely different toy store, one that I hadn't even noticed had opened in my town. It was brand new, lots of different stuff. And as we were walking around, looking around in that shop, I saw the most amazing, cute, cuddly bear. And I picked him up. Briefly. And I ended up not being able to put her down. She is so soft. I have never felt a cuddly bear this soft in my life. And she looks at me. Look at her face. Look at her little face. She looks at me and I just feel all warm inside. And you guys, I fell in love with this bear immediately. In a way that I don't think I've ever. And still feel a bit silly saying this. I just turned 35 and I ended up buying 2 cuddly soft toys for myself for my birthday. But this, my dear friends, is Embla. She is my precious, and whenever I am feeling down or lonely, she cuddles with me on the sofa while I'm watching a film or something, and she is just, I can't stop touching her. She's so soft. And I think, I have been talking about wanting to get a cat for quite a while now. But it's not really feasible with our living situation, where we, in this little flat that we have, oh, this chair is so squeaky, I'm sorry, with this little flat that we have, and the fact that we have family living far away, so we go and visit them fairly often, or as often as we can. And that would mean either traveling with the pet or leaving them for somebody else to take care of. And I always find that to be difficult, because I think that can be quite traumatic for a pet. So I still haven't. And then there's also the other part. I mean, both me and Michael, we don't eat meat, and a cat requires meat, and that would require us to buy meat into our household. And we don't really know how comfortable we are doing that. So there's a lot of things to consider before getting a cat. And cuddling with Embla and Fiddlesticks has kind of helped a little bit, at least, to ease that feeling of I want a pet. So it's not the same thing, not at all. I know, but I have to pretend a little bit at least. So all of this now then to say that I have been exploring my inner child this month quite a lot, and one of the decks I got is also kind of because of that, and I'll bring that up in a little bit. But so the things that I've been doing now then to prepare for my doll to arrive is that I have actually made clothes for her already, because I could not stop myself. So I started out, I knitted her this little sweater. It's so cute, and I'm just so in love. Oh, look how sweet is this? And then I also on the request from Andy and Krista, I knitted her a matching sweater from the same yarn that I'm knitting my own sweater, so that we will have a matching sweater set. And then yesterday I actually started on a dress and apron set for her. So hang on, I'll show you the dress first. So this is the little dress that I made. I still need to put buttons here in the back. And then I made this. This is not finished yet, but it's an apron, or like a pinafore type thing, to go with the dress. I'll put it on so you can see, so that it will be like that when it's finished. And at the moment I need to sew these and put buttons on here and trim the edges and such. But it will be, and there's this little pocket. So yeah, that's the little dress and apron that I made. And then I've also ordered a few bits for my doll off a secondhand marketplace. And my friend Jenny helped me out with this because the marketplace is in the Netherlands. So I bought these little pants, trousers, super cute. And then I bought 2 shirts or tops, and they're so cute. I can't wait for her to come. And then I also actually bought a spare face plate. She looks a bit, Michael thought she looked very creepy when she arrived. But it's basically so that I can either change the face if I don't like the face on the doll that I bought, or to customize a different doll if I decide to get a second doll. So, but I have told myself off. I can't buy another doll before my first doll has arrived. I mean, there needs to be some kind of limit, doesn't there? So, yes, that's it for the clothes. But then I have also picked up some miniature things when I've randomly seen them in town. So I bought this little basket and a set of like these little mushroom things that to do for arts and crafts, and I've just made her this little mushroom basket because she's a mushroom picker. And then I also found these adorable little clogs that I have no idea if they're gonna go on her or not, but we'll take that as it comes. All right, enough of doll stuff. I'm not sure if any one of you are interested in this. On to the rest of December. So Michael went to England, came home, and turned out he had COVID when he came back. Yay! And it was the first time that he actually had COVID. We almost thought that he was immune to COVID, but turns out he can get it, and he had it over Christmas. So we couldn't go home to visit my family. I was supposed to go home after on Boxing Day to visit my family, but since my dad, bless him, had lung surgery in December, which was a whole ordeal on its own, I'll tell you. So I didn't feel like I could go home, even if I wasn't testing positive. I did feel a bit under the weather all of this week. I still don't test positive, but all of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I felt absolutely horrible, achy everywhere, and slight fever, and very, very tired, sleeping 10 to 12 hours every night. And I think that I was fighting off the coronavirus. I mean, I've already had COVID in April, and I've been vaccinated 3 times, but I still ended up. I've not tested positive, but I'm pretty sure that I was fighting off that virus because Michael and I had not isolated at all when he came back, and by the time he figured out that he was ill, it was already too late to start isolating, and we thought we're not going to sit in quarantine in separate rooms over Christmas. That would be really horrible. So yeah, we had a very chill, laid back holiday, just watching telly, eating eating food we shouldn't be eating. you know you know how it goes. So yeah, but it was a good Christmas anyway, and yeah, it was fine. I just wish that I hadn't been ill for most of my holiday from work, because I've been off work all of this week and I've just been sat here inside. It's been quite depressing, to be honest, but here we are. We also decided not to exchange any gifts over Christmas, because we feel like we've already kind of bought each other stuff this year, and instead we were planning on hopefully getting a new bed in 2023. So we thought we'd save the money for that instead. And yeah, what else have I done in December? I did get I did get a bit creative with my tarot storage. I bought 2 bathtub shelves, like wooden, like bamboo shelves to balance on your bath, to keep like shampoo and stuff on. And I used them instead, because they had the perfect length. I used them instead as shelves in my tarot space. So if you can see that little wooden line there, that's like the back of the shelf, so that it raises up the back row of my tarot decks a little bit, and I have that in both my oracle and my tarot shelf. So the back row is raised up a little bit, so I can access them and see what I have without having to take a bunch of stuff out. And yeah, I really like that actually, and it turned out really well. So I reorganized my tarot storage a little bit, and that was fun. I was gonna talk about TV and film. I have watched loads, but the only things that I could think of talking about was that I finally finished the 3 seasons of The Following that I found out about because it was added to one of the streaming services that we subscribe to. And what I didn't know when I started it is that the show was bloody cancelled after the 3rd season, so it never wrapped up. And I wish that I know that I need to research these sort of things before I get invested into a show. But when I saw this popping up on the streaming service, I was like, ooh, Kevin Bacon in a TV show, and it looks really cool. It's about serial killers and stuff. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's watch an episode. And I got hooked. And I've been watching that show now for the last 2 months, something like that. And you know, when the 3rd season ended, and it just kind of goes to that screen where there's nothing else to see, there's no next episode, I was like, what? They can't end it like this. When is the 4th season coming out? Like, looking up on my phone. This is me looking up on my phone, by the way. Anyway, there is no 4th season, and the 4th season isn't coming because they cancelled the bleeding show. And now I'm like, oh, great, thanks for that. So now I'm making up the ending in my head, because I need to have an ending. Then I also watched Fantastic Mr. Fox for the first time, which was, fun. I had not ever seen that film, and knew I wanted to see it, so I took the time to watch it this holiday season, and yeah, it's pretty good. But then I also watched a animated film on Netflix that I think is quite new. It's called Sea Beast, and it's about these hunters, these pirate type hunters who hunt sea monsters, and then this little girl in an orphanage who dreams about joining the hunters, and yeah, I really liked this film, you guys. It was heartwarming and exciting and beautifully made, and I really recommend watching it. It was a good watch. So, that was that. Now let's get on to the thing that everybody is waiting for anyway, and that's my new decks. My new decks for the month. And I really didn't realize that I had this many new decks coming in this month. I felt like, oh, I've been really good this month. I haven't ordered any decks, and I actually haven't. All of this is decks that I have been waiting for since before November, or that I ordered in November. So I haven't bought any new decks. Actually, one of them I've bought in December. But the rest of them have been bought in November or earlier. So I was prepared to go on here today and be like, I have been good, I haven't bought any new decks, but then we now have quite a few to get through, so who'da thunk it? So let's start with the happy mail that I got from Jenny. She sent me 2 decks as a gift, and the first one, let me take a sip. The first one is the Celtic Tree Oracle by Liz and Colin Murray. So this is a beautiful little deck, comes in this packaging with a really cool hardbound book and some kind of spreadsheet thing that I haven't looked closer at yet, and then also little pad to record your readings in it, and then last but not least the cute little cards. So this is an Ogham deck. Oh, sorry, I have to wipe my coffee off my moustache. So this is a little Ogham deck, and I already have the Spirit of Nature Oracle, which is also an Ogham deck, but I just felt so drawn to this artwork. I've been thinking about getting this deck for quite a while, and when Jenny asked me if I wanted this deck because she was getting rid of it, I said, yeah, sure, send it my way. Thank you. And yeah, it's I think it's really pretty. So I am really looking forward to getting into this. And because, I mean, you know me and trees, I have a special thing for trees. And so I feel like the Ogham alphabet or system is definitely something I should look into and see if it's something for me at least. Okay, the next deck she sent me is the Ostara Tarot, which is a deck that I had never even considered getting myself. But since it was offered to me as a gift, I thought, why the heck not? Why not just try it and be, surprised if it turns out being really cool. And I've not picked this up myself because I have a thing against like decks that are built up from different, like lots of different artists. For some reason I feel like the artwork would be too differing, but since there's only 4 artists in this deck collaboration, I've had a hard time finding any fault with this, to be honest. I really like this artwork, like a lot, all of it. It's I so far I've only flipped through it. I haven't done any readings with it yet, but I really like it. I think that there is a good chance that this is going to become a favorite. And I'm a little bit surprised actually how much I'm actually liking it just on first glance, because like I said, this is a deck I haven't really even I've known about it, of course. I've seen a few cards from it and thought, "Ooh, that's pretty," but I never really looked further into it. So and now I have a tendency of connecting deeply with decks that are either gifted to me or that I've traded, because for some reason I really dig the feeling of it being secondhand for some reason, and especially when the deck is coming from a good friend, you know, I feel like the decks then have this extra good energy to them. So yeah, this deck is actually surprising me right now, and I really love the artwork. So that's the Ostara Tarot by Molly Applejohn, Eden Cook, Krista Gibbard, and Julia Julia Iredale. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and say it again. Julia Iredale. Yeah. Okay, oops. Okay, so that was the Ostara Tarot. Next up is another secondhand purchase. I bought this from a lovely person in a trading group. She's from Iceland, and I have wanted this deck for a while, but I've held off on it because I don't read Lenormand. I have not got a single Lenormand deck until now, and I got the Anna K Lenormand secondhand, and you guys, honestly, this deck is so pretty. Oh, I love Anna K's artwork in this. It's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. And I am super excited to start using it. I have no idea how to read Lenormand, but I intend to find out. And I'm not sure if Lenormand, the system, is something for me, but I feel like the artwork in this deck can be used as a regular oracle, you know, like just reading it intuitively. So yeah, I am super excited about having this deck. Here are two, she's included 2 sets of woman and man, and 2 sets of lilies. And oh, look at this pair. So pretty. So yeah, I am super chuffed to have this deck, and really excited to get started on that. And I am also excited because I think that Tom Benjamin is starting a Lenormand study series on his channel. So now I've got a Lenormand to tag along. Okay, and the next deck that I got from the same person in Iceland is the original edition, the first edition of the Star Tarot. And I got this because I've wanted the Star Tarot for years, but I hung about getting it for so long that the first edition went out of print, because they brought out the second edition, which is borderless matte cardstock and still pretty big from what I've understood. So I wanted the first edition so that I could trim it down to just the artwork. And I'm so glad that I did. I still haven't read with it. It's overwhelming me because this is just so chock full of symbology in here, or symbolism. But goodness me, it's beautiful. The colors in this is just amazing, and honestly, this tower card, wow, like, yeah, I'm really happy I got this, but I haven't trimmed it yet, which I will, and then I already have so many decks I want to deep dive. But this is definitely one that I need to deep dive at some point. But I might look if there's anybody else who's done a deep dive on YouTube first before I start doing it. Or would you be interested in me doing a deep dive of this? Let me know. Alright, so the next deck I got is the deck I was alluding to earlier in regards to my inner child exploration, cuteness, extravaganza, and I got the Kawaii Tarot. Yes. So happy. I've been wanting this deck for quite a while, actually, but it was only after I decided on, fully digging into this inner child thing that I ended up getting it, and I'm so happy. This is such a cute deck. I love this so much. And I'm not the kind of person who's like, ooh, cute, kawaii kind of thing. It's not. I've never been, or have I? That's a really weird thing to say. Scratch that. This is just such a cute deck. I love it to bits, and it just makes you joyful. It makes you happy, and I can't wait to start using this properly. It's look at you, little chubby little seal baby. Oh, love this moon card. Honestly, that's just so good. Yeah, so you've all probably seen the Kawaii Tarot by now, but I'm so excited that something like this exists, mass market. It's just so nice and so good, and love it to bits. So that's the Kawaii Tarot by Lulu Mayo. Lulu Mayo, I mean, she even has a cute name herself. I want to be called Lulu. That's a really nice name. Alright, plop that there. The next deck that I got, this is one I bought straight from the creator here in Finland, and I finally got myself the Mythologica Fennica Tarot. I just wish that my Finnish was good enough that I could have bought the Finnish version of this at the Ukon Pakka, but because my first language is Swedish and my Finnish is rather poor, I had to go for the English version, and you know what? That's okay. But I felt like I wanted to connect more deeply to the Finnish mythology, partly because, I am Finnish. I'm born and bred in Finland, but the language divide in Finland is quite big, actually. I'm born in a little Swedish-speaking village in Finland, and all the culture around me was Swedish-speaking. We watched proper Sweden, all the television that we watched was from Sweden. So I grew up just watching Swedish TV shows, participating in the Swedish culture, reading Swedish books, things like that. So Finnish culture for me overall is just a world on its own, and I've felt ever since moving to a city where most of the population speaks Finnish, I've noticed that there is a lot about my culture that I have no connection to. And there's people, people in culture that I've never heard of, that people are just like, their eyebrows are up here somewhere when I'm like, oh, who's that? So, yeah, I feel a little bit behind. That notwithstanding, I of course read about Kalevala in school and such, but I felt like I wanted to dig deeper into Kalevala. I've seen theatre shows, I've read some of the Kalevala, but I wanted to feel a deeper connection, and that's why I'm just so grateful that this deck exists. Susanna Salo, who is the creator of this deck, is such a nice lady. She signed the guidebook for me and had the deck sent out to me in a flash. And honestly, you guys, this deck shuffles like an absolute dream. I love shuffling this deck. I can't stop. It's so good. And the artwork is so special. I have nothing in my collection that's like this. And I cannot wait to dig into this deck. It's so different, and there is no mention of the actual correspondence in the deck to the real tarot, but it is mentioned in the guidebook. So that's why I think it's going to be a tough time. I'm going to have a tough time reading with this as a normal or regular tarot deck in the beginning. And I'm just going to have to, I think I'm going to have to deep dive this properly and just do a card at a time and properly, like, just reading the guidebook and sitting with the card for a bit. And yeah. But I am so excited to finally have this deck. Absolutely love it. So much, and it's just so special. So I haven't done a flip through of this on my channel yet, but it's definitely on the agenda. I mean, a Finnish tarot tuber can't not have a flip through of the Mythologia Fennica on their channel. Let's just say that. Okay. Another deck that arrived in December was a Kickstarter that I backed a while ago now, a few months ago, and that's the Althea Oracle deck. And this is by a lovely German lady whose name I can't remember now, but she goes by Marsens online. And she made these humongous oracle decks. But look at those backs. They are absolutely stunning. And this is a dark green. I don't know if you can tell, or they look quite black on the screen, but they're a dark green in the backs. And it's a botanical oracle. Yes, yet another one. But I really love this because it's big, it's got these old-fashioned illustrations, and then it's got this key phrase for each one, and there's a bigger guidebook as well that gives you more information. But these are, these are super pretty. And yeah, because it's, it was a Kickstarter that actually took place in Europe. it wasn't that bad of a price for me to back it, so I ended up backing it mainly for that reason. And also because I felt like I didn't have something quite like this. And yeah, I really like it. I haven't used it yet so far, but I hope to get to know it better very soon. The next one is not actually a tarot or oracle deck. It is just a playing cards deck from this little shop here in my town. It's a Danish, I want to say Danish, like franchise, Søstrene Grene. I found out that this shop had come to our town when my family was here, and we stopped in the shop, and I saw this little playing card deck, and I just had to get it, and I'm so happy I did, because they are so cute. I love the way that the suits are, like hand drawn. And really pretty. But then we also have the kings and the queens and the jacks and the jokers, who are just so funny. Like they are doing different things depending on what way they are turned up, and the aces are really cute as well. And I'm not really that big on playing cards, but this deck just really caught my eye. So here we've got king on one side. He's playing the trumpet. When you turn him upside down, he's holding for his hands over his ears. And then we have Queen of Clubs. So yeah, that was it's just a cute little thing. Cost me less than €1, or was it 1.90? I can't remember, but anyway, cheap little fun thing, and I love shuffling this little deck. So that was one card deck that I bought in December as well. Okay, so we're changing view for just a moment, because I finished my filming, and then I realized that, hey, I had even more decks come in December than I realized. I got confused because I thought I had already talked about these decks in my November video, but it was in my tarot collection video that I had talked about these, and my oracle deck video. So here we go. One really amazing parcel came in December as well, and that was a collection of decks that I had bought quite a while ago, and I had them sent to my friend Krista, who then very kindly collected them all at her place and then sent them in one big parcel to me here in Finland from the US. So, and in that process, she included some really lovely little gifts. One of them being this really pretty, like, placemat type thing that I've been using as a reading cloth this December. And it's really soft, actually, and I love these little winter birds. They're so pretty. So that was one of the gifts that she sent. Then she also sent me some really thoughtful gifts. She sent me this little crystal acorn, which I just absolutely adore. It's got such a nice heft to it. I really love holding this in my hand, and I love this little carving here on the top as well. I am not 100% sure what crystal it is. I'm going to have to ask her about that. I keep forgetting to ask, so. And then she also sent me this gorgeous little palm stone type thing with a dragonfly on it, which is a very thoughtful gesture, because I had a thing with dragonflies this summer, and I'm so touched that she remembered that. And on the back it says, "I am joyful," and this is just one of my most precious gifts that I keep on display on my altar. So thank you so much, Krista. And at the same time, she also sent me a copy of her own brand new oracle deck, which I was hoping to do a walkthrough video of before now, but I've just been like this December. Goodness, it's not been great, but anyway, this is her lovely oracle deck. It's on a gorgeous linen cardstock. It's just so flowy. Look at that. And the backs are absolutely gorgeous, and I adore this deck. The guidebook is really awesome as well. Reading that guidebook just makes you feel so much. It makes you feel like you're getting to know Krista even that much better. It's really a joy to use this deck, and I think it pairs really well with so many of my decks. Like, it pairs super well with the Cartes Postal deck because of the vintage you feel, and I think they also have the exact same font on the cards, which I think is really fun. So I really like pairing it with that. Yeah, just an all-round super special gem in my collection. I really love this deck. So thank you so much, Krista, for sending it to me. You're a gem. All right, the next one in that parcel that I absolutely adore is the Wild Whiskers Spirit Animal Oracle by Fina Laura. This was also a deck that I had wanted for so long, and I just kept denying myself this deck. But since I knew that Krista was happy to help me by letting me send the deck to her instead of straight to me, I was able to save some shipping costs that way. Then I thought, why not? Let's just go for it. So I got it from Fina Laura's Etsy shop, and I could not be happier about it. This deck is fantastic. I absolutely adore this deck so much. I have a feeling it's going to become one of my all-time favorites. Next is two decks that I haven't even opened yet, and that's the Wisdom of the Divine Feminine and Wisdom of the Shadow. And because these are not opened yet, I'm not going to spend much more time than that on that. So, sorry. Next up is a deck that I passed on when it was on Kickstarter. I decided not to get it. I backed it, and then I withdrew my backing because I felt like I was spending too much money at the time, and then I immediately regretted it. So that's the Walking Meditation Tarot by Daniel Norman, by the way. And happily, I was able to find it secondhand through a Facebook group, and super excited to start working with this deck. I haven't used it at all yet, so I don't have much to say, but I just wanted to show you a few of the gorgeous cards that are in here. And last but not least, in that parcel was the Anima Mundi Tarot. Also a deck that I have actually wanted for years. I have, like, seriously, ever since I started getting back into tarot, I got super, like, I was just very, very keen on getting this deck, but I was scared that I wouldn't be able to read with it because of its pippish nature. And now I just finally said to myself, you know what? You only live once. You will never learn to read with more pippish decks if you don't go for it. So I went for it and bought this gorgeous, gorgeous deck. Look at that card. Look at that card. It's so pretty. I adore this deck and I'm so happy I finally went for it. It's gorgeous and I love the cardstock and the feel of this deck. Really, truly, no regrets here. So pretty. And yeah, excited to start working with this in 2023. So now back to the regular show. This was a little extra filming that I had to do after the fact because I was being a little bit airheaded and completely forgot that these also arrived in December, which makes the total of decks arriving in December to quite a embarrassing amount, to be honest. And now I realized why I've been feeling so overwhelmed and not wanting to do tarot all month. So, lesson learned, do not buy too many decks at once because, at least for me, if I get too many new decks in at once, I kind of shut down and just go for the old favorites. So yeah, back to the regular program. Okay, and the next two decks that arrived in December are so brand new that they didn't even make it in time for the deck collection video. They arrived like yesterday, or was it the day before that, and I haven't even opened them yet. But so they are going to be making an appearance on my channel in January, possibly. And the first one is Tarot of the Hidden Realms by Julia Jeffrey and Barbara Moore. Now, I mean, this is a classic by now, and I have been keeping an eye on it for quite a while, and then I talked about it with Krista and Andy, and then they told me that this is definitely a deck that you ought to have because they thought that I would really love it, and I agreed, so I got it. And at the same time, I ordered this deck to also kind of satiate my sudden cat. Sudden urge to get a cat. So I bought the Soul Cats Tarot by Lisa Robertson and Adam Ohlers. So this one I'm probably gonna open today because I can't wait to look at it. Oh, what the heck? Let's open it now. Let's open it now and have a look, shall we? This is going to turn into a much longer video than I thought now because I want to look at the cards. Alright, so impromptu unboxing video. Alright, here we have the box. It's a Llewellyn deck, so it's got this magnetic flap. Oh, and then we have the gorgeous Llewellyn books. honestly, you guys, I think Llewellyn is knocking it out of the park. I really, really love. Oh, look at this. These books are amazing. I really love them, and I really love the cardstock that Llewellyn has. People are complaining about it being thin, but I love it because it's so easy to riffle shuffle. Okay. Oh, goodness me, those backs are gorgeous. Oh. No. 10 hours later, I managed to get it up. Alright. Oh! I'm so excited about this deck. Look at these backs. Oh, gorgeous. Look how that light, the lighting he gets in his artwork, Adam, is amazing. Alright, I'm gonna take the last sip of coffee before it gets stone cold. No, too late. It was already stone cold. Alright. Look at that. Oh, I got chills. I just got chills. Look at that magician. Oh, this high priestess is perfect. Oh, goodness, guys. I think maybe this deck is going to make me get a cat instead of preventing me from getting a cat. Oh. Oh my goodness, this emperor is fantastic. Oh, he's so funny. Ooh, he's seen some shit on the streets. The Hierophant. Oh, cool. Guys, I am so in love with this deck already. I thought I knew about this deck because I follow Adam on Instagram. And I knew it was coming out, but I thought to myself, no, I'm not a cat person. I don't need a cat deck. I love his artwork, it's pretty, but come on, I already have the Oak, Ash and Thorn. I don't need this. It's gorgeous. I love this. I don't know what it is that's happened to me because I've never been a cat person. I've always been a dog person my whole life. But all of a sudden, I'm just like, cats! Pretty, cute cats! Look at that little hedgehog. Look at him. Oh, he's included birch trees. Look, that's so pretty. And the birds that are taunting him. Ooh. Poor little mouse. Gorgeous temperance card. Ooh, look at this devil. Oh, that's perfect. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole deck. I'm going to save something for later. But let's also look at some... Okay, I need to show you this tower card. Look at this tower card. He's just pushing it over the edge. I love that. And this star card. Oh, and the sun card. Guys, I love every card here. Right, let's look at some of the... Okay. Okay, this is interesting. I did not know this. So it looks like each suit is following one particular cat throughout the suit. So in the Pentacles, we are following this Maine Coon throughout the suit. So you can see it's got the same markings on each card, and they're all Maine Coons. So I think, look, there's a hedgehog again. And he's pissed off because the hedgehog is pawing on his pentacles. So we have a Maine Coon throughout the pentacles. What about the... Yeah, the majors. Court cards have the same as well. Okay, and then for the wands, we have this black cat that I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a Bombay, maybe. Here's the 5. And the 10. And the Queen. And the King. Okay, and then we have a Siamese for the swords. It's the 3 of swords. Five. 10. Oh, goodness me, look at this knight. That is so pretty. There's the Queen. And the King. And then we have something that looks like an American short house cat, maybe. In the cups. Or is it a Bengal? Hang on. Let's have a look here. It's got, yeah. You can see the spots here. So it looks like a Bengal, maybe? Sorry. Is that what they're called? I think they're called Bengals. I'm not an expert on cat breeds, but I have been looking up a little bit about them since I've been hoping to maybe get a cat one day. Oh, look at that page. The knights in this deck are so majestic. I really love them. All right, so we went through almost the whole deck. Oh, my goodness, guys. I am so in love with this deck already. Honestly, this is... chills, giving me chills. I almost want to go through this now immediately as well, but we'll save that for later. All right, so I don't think I have anything more to add. Oh yeah, most used decks. Well, honestly, December, Whirlwind. I have not been reading much tarot. I've been ill, my partner's been ill, so I've taken care of him. I had family visiting, I had some hectic last days at work, and I've been rabbit holing. A lot of my time has gone to watching Blythe videos, customization videos, and looking online for Blythe dolls. And yeah, safe to say I've been having a little bit of a tarot break. And but I have been using some tarot and done some readings. So let me just grab those and I'll talk to you a little bit more about it. Okay, so the most used decks that I have been using this month. The first one is the Mara Loon Tarot. This is a copy I got secondhand from my friend Andy. And I've talked about this quite a lot recently. It has quickly become one of my favorite decks. It's got this really soft watercolor palette, and it's just a very calming deck overall. And I used this I pulled a card from this on my birthday, and lo and behold, I got Temperance, which has been my card of the year, and Temperance is the 14th card, and my birthday is on the 14th of December. So, the irony was not lost on me, and I also felt like it was kind of the card saying a final goodbye. Hopefully. Hopefully I have learned the lesson of Temperance this year, so that it can stop stalking me now, because I want to see some other cards. Anyway, this is the Maraloon Tarot, and that's spelled Rlunne, and can be bought on Make Playing Cards and Game Crafters. So it's a print-on-demand deck, and highly recommend it. It's really good. The next deck I've been using a lot ever since I got it is the Birds Oracle Deck 2. That's really... can't really see that very well. There it's better. And this is by Jessica Blaine Smith and Mia Emily Freeman. And I adore this deck to bits. The guidebook is so pretty and so good. These are the backs. And honestly, you guys, I am so upset that I can't get my hands on the first deck of this duo. It's Oracle deck, Birds Oracle deck 1 and 2, and they both feature different cards, and then you can buy them both and put them together. But the first one is sold out, and the creator is not printing anymore. And I actually emailed her about it, and I got a slightly annoyed answer in reply, because I think she gets quite a lot of emails requesting the first deck, and I'm just heartbroken that I have not been able to get my hands on the first one. So if you who are watching this right now has the first one and you don't want it anymore, please reach out to me. Because I will take it off your hands in a heartbeat. All right. What else? Yes, I've been using the Gentle Tarot as well. Did some really strong readings with the Gentle Tarot this month, in conjunction with the next deck I'm going to talk to, Feel Your Chakras Oracle. So I had some really interesting readings with this deck this month, and I'm really... This is the by the way, the linen edition. I have both the first edition, big golden trimmed edition, so not trimmed, edged, golden edged edition, and this linen edition is a dream to shuffle. I love it so much. And so I've just been using this deck a lot this month, together with the Feel Your Chakras Oracle by my good friend Andy Taylor. And so this is the Feel Your Chakras. It's got lots of cards, and even though I don't work with chakras, I feel like this is a really good deck to do. I use this a lot for creating spreads. Basically, just pull a card or two, and then I pull cards in conjunction to the phrase on the card. So in this sense, I do have the ability to make decisions. I would probably pull a card from the tarot or another oracle deck, in, you know, kind of like what would help me make better decisions or something like that. Or in this case, I do have a victim mindset right now, then I would pull a card on how can I get out of this victim mindset, what has put me in a victim mindset, things like that, you know. And I feel addictive behaviors creeping in. You see, like, what addictive behaviors have I been indulging in? How can I stop having addictive behaviors? You see what I mean. So it's a really cool, handy little deck, and it's got all of these lovely different backs on them, all corresponding to the chakra in question. And like I said, you don't have to work with chakras in order to get a lot out of this deck. So, and this one can be bought on Andy's Etsy site, Metaphysics Made Easy. So, that was the Feel Your Chakras Oracle by Andy Taylor. And that is all the tarot that I've been working with this month. Yeah. And I don't think I have anything else to add. So, thank you so much for joining me in this December wrap-up. We are nearing the end of 2022, and I failed in my mission to finish up my deep dive of the Forest of Enchantment tarot. But life is what it is. Things got in the way, health issues got in the way, and I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I will, you know, come back to it for the last 2 episodes with new strength and vigor in January, and I hope that you will join me as we wrap up that particular deep dive. So, thank you again for joining me for this wrap up. I hope that you have all been well and that you've had nice and peaceful holiday season. And if not, you know, the holiday season can be a very difficult time for some of us. And even though I feel like I've had a fairly good holiday season, it's also been fairly tough. So I am right there with you. But yeah, please take care of yourselves, my friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.